Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Creators must be 18 or older to go live. Viewers must be 18 or older to recharge and send gifts. Remember to create a safe viewing experience by following our community guidelines. KY is the first. I Like Me Crazy is here. Yeah, Noodle joined us. Thanks for joining. Thanks for jumping on, everybody. Oh my God, what a week we've had in America. The Reverend Jamie Cece is with us on Saturday. He's with us. Man, oh man, I'm going to try to stay on as long as I possibly can today. Thank you, Noodle. Atheism is correct. It's the only, I don't know, atheism is the only thing you can kind of make a case for it being correct. The other shit, I don't know, it's all fantasy, but people have a good time with it, and that's all right. It's when they start having a shitty time, when they start giving other people a shitty time because of it, that we get offended. I don't care about people's religion. I don't care if you need to suck a thumb to get to sleep at night, man. I mean, everybody's got their comfort zone, and a lot of people need that shit. I talk like I do sometimes, but I'm not trying to get rid of religion. I really am not. I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you believe. And I don't know why religious people care what other people think or believe. Yeah, no, of course. The Reverend Jamie Cecil. Did you change your name? It just said Cece, didn't it, a second ago? Jamie, of course there is no God. Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And now we have political violence on a scale that I never thought we'd see in this country. Man, are we dealing with stupid people on both sides? This is I don't know how long I'm gonna get to stay on today. I'm flying solo today. Dave's not here. It's me and Darth, and just too much to talk about in this fucking dumpster fire of a country. And the best thing is that as soon as the left creates a martyr, the right immediately starts squelching everybody's free speech. Now you can't say if you criticize Charlie Kirk at all. Well, Bohemian Lucy is with me on YouTube. Don't forget to join us on YouTube. I am here. Got Vader in the background holding up the sun. Thanks, Lucy, for jumping on. We didn't see you last week. Trying to get going on YouTube, so follow me over there on YouTube, Atheist Underground. But yeah, as soon as anybody starts expressing their free speech and saying, you know what, nobody's condoning this, but maybe you shouldn't say things that instigate these kind of feelings in people. As soon as you start criticizing a guy at all, they're literally threatening to dox people online, threatening to get information, get them fired. What happened to the free speech? What happened to the free speech, fucking Republicans? Honestly, Republicans are the fucking worst group of assholes. I don't know how anybody even puts up with it anymore. Thank you, Patricia. Got you. Love you. Well, maybe somebody did, and that certainly has crossed my mind that the right did this. If it really seems like Agent Orange really liked the guy, though. It seemed like they were honestly close. So, but who knows? I'm not even sure that Agent Orange is pulling the strings anymore. Do you feel like sometimes they're just there's the deep state, the people that work around him are pushing shit through because he's old and can't pay attention to everything, and he's not really very talented in certain ways of politics. He's getting schooled by Putin right now, owned, embarrassed. He looks weaker than shit. Putin plays him every time they have 2 seconds together. Well, you overslept last week, Lucy. That's what we get to do as atheists, right? We get to oversleep on a Sunday and not worry about it. No, that's what I mean. The selective empathy. Yeah. Of course, until it's one of theirs and they can use it to rile up the base and call for, the rounding up of anybody who disagreed with national hero with the flags flying at half staff for what? A jumped up blogger? Really? Is this what we're at now? If it had been anybody on the other side, Trump would have never fucking even mentioned that or brought that up, of flying the flags at half staff. And there are people now around the country that are standing up to that, man. They're like, no, you know what? But it's not right, and we're not going to do it. So, yeah, we're literally living in unprecedented times. And you're telling me Zan Krajnic is here. Yeah, who's celebrating it? No, this is like the worst fucking thing. It's really, really intolerable, unbelievable, sick, disgusting. But more disgusting to me is people like Ben Shapiro jumping on Bill Maher last night and right away blaming it on a trans leftist when the guy came from a Republican Christian conservative family. Okay, we don't really know, what was in his mind, but he wasn't trans. He wasn't some kind of woke leftist. He had what he needed and he got it done. But yeah, anybody who's celebrating it is sick and needs to be ignored. Um, he had a trans partner. How about stop shooting our people? What have I said? Shut up. Tell me to shut up. Yeah, no, this is the overreaction, right? We forget about the lawmakers in Minnesota. They got their home broken into and straight up murdered by the right. The political violence comes from both sides, and the ass hurt bullies. When as soon as one of theirs gets, what happened? What happened? What happened? And the fact that they're openly trying to hurt people who are simply expressing their free speech, which is what Charlie Kirk would have wanted, right? Charlie Kirk was a free speech guy. Get out here and debate me. Say it. Say it. This is America. You got the right to be a free speech guy. Free speech guy. Free speech guy. Well, he said free speech to the point where someone took exception to what he said. And again, no one's condoning it. It's brutal. It's disgusting. But maybe the answer is to stop saying things that provoke these kind of feelings in people. And honestly, the right needs to start fucking calling out political violence. Where's fat ass pig, the national pig, the first felon? Where's he going? We need to stop. Both sides have had too much political violence. Shapiro in Pennsylvania, they tried to he tried to burn his house down in the night or something. You're like, no, man. The left does not corner the market on violent nut jobs. And the breathless attempt of the right to spin it that way is fucking gross. It's gross. Everybody knows that the extreme right is much more violent and weird and unbalanced and able to get this shit. Mike's with us. It's only your side. Which side is mine, Jack? I'm in the middle. See, that's the thing here. I'm here to take. Nobody wants to. You're right. Whoever said that, but the Republican, the Democrats are done. They are done. They're fucking useless. They're useless. I blame them completely for giving us chump. Thank you for the hearts, Patricia. Love all you guys. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Scotty, good job, buddy. Jesus doesn't love anybody. You know why? He's dead. Jesus loves you. Jesus is fucking atoms floating through the universe, man. If he ever existed. Yeah, no, it's not okay. None of this is okay. Good morning. Tiamat. It's brutal that Charlie Kirk stood on business. I don't know if that's what that means. He was a provocateur. He used the scare tactics to fucking scare people into voting the way he wanted them to vote. Just like the entire right, ooh, be scared of immigrants. Ooh, be scared of trans people. Ooh, be scared of urban culture. Ooh, be scared of anything that's not like you. Ooh, be scared of atheists. Ooh, be scared of Muslims. Ooh, be scared of what? Shut up. Just shut up. Be scared of vaccines. The more your kid croaks of measles and you got to fucking excuse it. Well, this is the thing. We don't know that this is particularly politically motivated. Somebody might have took exception to what he said about gun control. Someone solidly in the middle or even right of center. Imagine hearing from that guy that, a certain amount of gun deaths are acceptable so we can have the free speech. We can have the Second Amendment. Imagine being a guy who already lost his kid in a school shooting, having to hear that from a guy, it might have been all it was. Might have been a guy who just wanted to get attention. He certainly got it. Yeah, I know they have, and I'm like, well, I don't really care anymore. It's just so fucked up, and that's why join me. The Native Atheist is on it. Join us on YouTube where we won't get kicked off as fucking fast. Thank you for being here, Native Atheist. Yeah, trying to build up the following on YouTube so that we can, avoid just getting kicked off of TikTok entirely one day. My kid can't have peanut butter at school. Pooh, yours can't bring measles to school, Karen. And you can't have Halloween either, right? You can't even say Halloween around a school anymore. Oh, the demons. Who's stupider than fucking people who think that demons are real? No, my whole thing is education. We don't educate people properly, and the right, I can see it throughout my life. I can see the right wants to keep you stupid. The right's pushing for vouchers so you can send your kids to Christian school. They stay stupid. Then they believe the fear tactics when they hear them. Then they believe that people are eating dogs in Cincinnati. Then they believe that every immigrant is a fentanyl selling schmapist who's was in a mental institution in the country they came from. You believe it because you don't have the critical thinking skills to fucking break down what your leaders are lying to you about. And when I say leaders in quotes, I mean leaders in quotes because this piece of shit is no leader. There is no leadership. There is no guidance. There is no national role model. When I was a kid, it was like everybody, the president, he had to be a pretty trustworthy dude to get that far at some point compared to now. I mean, the whole politicians are crooked bit is as old as dirt. But I really believe that a lot of people got into public service to serve the public, to do the best they could for the civic good for the most people, right? And nowadays it's just like, what? What are we looking at? Garbagey trailer queen in Congress? Someone like this in Congress couldn't pass an IQ test, but they're fucking representing the constituency from a state. It's like, what? Kirk said empathy was a made-up word, but we're supposed to feel bad. Yeah, I do feel bad. It's horrible for those, who had to be there, who had to see it. His family, he's got little girls. It's fucking horrible. It's horrible that we've gotten to this point. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But well, this is the thing. That's what it is. It's white nationalist propaganda. And when I didn't listen to him, and I have a feeling that he's probably like there's other worse. Like he's not Andrew Tate, right? He's not like but he's on the wrong side of history, and he took advantage of college kids, younger kids, disenfranchised generation, to make himself rich on the interwebs by provoking, by being a divisive figure. Debate me, debate me, debate me. He bullied people from what I can see in debates because he was good at it, right? If that's what you're gonna do and you're good at it, you invite it, right? I mean, he believed in God. How do you? I don't know how you give any credence to anybody's intellect who pulls that shit. It's like talking. Seems like you're talking sense. Seems like you're talking sense, but then he thinks there's an invisible guy that's in charge of everything. Yeah, now he's just history. That's too soon, my friend. Yes, Tiamat. Yeah, the bona fide weird guy. Yeah, I just the people who take advantage of kind of lost souls who maybe again lack the critical thinking skills to really break down what you're telling them. I don't know. It's no different than any televangelist or Joel Osteen type of preacher asshole. Is just you say something with confidence, and oh boy, it gives people a direction. I feel like, oh, this guy gets me, and he's on our side, and yeah, okay. Tika, what's up, Tiktuka? I get it. It's a Tiktuka. Crazy Cooter is with us. Crazy Cooter, yes, it's the Atheist Underground. We're here every Sunday at 10:30. If you can join us, thank you so much for joining on. We've had a fucking week in America. What the fuck is going on? Man, I'm a guy with 100,000 followers. I think I hear there's 70, 80 of you. It makes you wonder. It makes you think, well, who's going to, you say something somebody doesn't like these days, and there's no more debate in the middle. There's no more, let's get together and figure out what's best for everybody. There's just you versus us. And the country's being controlled by the extreme ends of both parties. And the extreme ends of both parties are as dumb as the burnt end of a butt steak. I mean, Where is the dialogue? Where is the middle? And I will give him that. He seemed to be a guy who at least invited conversation, right? Yeah, no, hey, but uh, I don't know if I care to, but maybe I'll go back and look at some of his videos. Yeah, still not hearing a lot about this. There was another school shooting, right, that day. There was another, but school half mast. Yeah, I don't know. If Charlie Kirk was true to his word, then he'd be shrugging right now, going, a certain amount of violent deaths are acceptable. So, in order for us to keep our Second Amendment, I gotta own it. I said it, and I still stand by it. If he could fucking be here today to say that, I'd be like, all right, man. Those with the least intelligence are elected to run the government. Beverly Boyd. Yeah, there's a great quote. It might be Mark Twain. He's like, no one would hire, a plumber that didn't go to plumbing school. No one would hire a doctor that routinely failed at his job. No one would hire an electrician who had no expertise. But we routinely elect the stupidest people in the country to run the government routinely, and no one fucking bothers to look. This whole thing with fucking RFK Jr. Are you kidding me? This is the biggest fucking shittiest fucking guy. What a I'm gonna get kicked off of TikTok today. I know I am. We can literally make America healthy again. Are you fucking shitting me? They brought measles back. Now they're worried about polio. What's it gonna be next? Scarlet fever? Like literally spent the last 2 centuries fixing all this shit, and now we just have look what happens if you get a vaccine. Your boy's going to be autistic. Population control. They're trying to get us to have kids. Project 2025 and the Christian nationalists are so bummed out that the population is going down. They see they're seeing an end to the cannon fodder. There's not going to be any idiots to carry out their agenda because they need a stupid population to stay in power. They need an undereducated, stupid population. Yeah. Did George Carlin say something like that? Yeah, I mean, and it's not wrong. It's not wrong. But when you say something like that, and then the ironic part comes, you got to own it, right? You got to own it. Or he's like, well, I guess he was wrong. No, if you think he was right, he was right. And honestly, it's, I feel bad for his family. I do. And anybody that was there, it's fucking horrible. I cannot believe we've gotten to this point. Don't worry about getting kicked. Worry about your ulcers. Self-peace first. What's up? Silver the Wordsmith is with us. Oh, thanks for joining us. Everybody on board today. There's nothing more dangerous than an educated proletariat. The bona fide weird guy. Yeah, that's to them, to the power class. Yeah. That's what I mean, weird guy. You're absolutely right. Here, I'm going to give you a diesel toot for your wise words tonight. Yes, people. It's the atheist underground. I feel like I'm the last atheist left who's just trying to be an atheist, right? The atheist movement went right in the shitter. It's become an arm of the woke left, which I'm not that guy who's anti-left or anti-woke. I'm pretty much on board with all social justice issues. I'm not anti-woke. I don't like that we've had to accept that word as a derogatory term now. But I don't know what it has to do with atheism. I don't know what it has to do with the atheist movement. We need to further the principles of separation of church and state and ensure that people have religious freedom, which includes, of course, freedom from religion. Atheists are the only people who are doing that. Nobody else gives a fuck about that. Everybody else is concerned about who's stopping my rights to stick a cross on the street or everywhere I fucking please. That's all they're worried about is their own shit. Atheists are the only one out here who are trying to safeguard your religious rights. Because once you let the government in, it's only a matter of time before they legislate out something that you thought was always going to be. Oh, I'm a Christian. He's a Christian. There's 50 fucking kinds of Christianity or more. Sooner or later, if the government gets their finger in there, they're going to start deciding what's the right Christianity, and all of a sudden your brand of Christianity because you're a snake handling weirdo or someone who doesn't give their kids medicine or whatever it is, rolling in the aisles of what they decided you can't do it, then it's, but it'll be your fault because you open the door on it. Atheists get that church and state are more powerful without each other, and we're seeing the proof of that right now. Right, the first secular government in the world screamed to the top of the pack. We went straight to the fucking most powerful country in the world status, and the church spread like a fucking weed. Right, the Christian churches went fucking nuts across America. That's what happened because there was no state church. You can open any kind of damn church you want. Just go do it. And they did it. Just drive through Kentucky and Tennessee if you don't believe me. They did it. So, atheists are the only people who kind of get that and are standing up for what in the end will protect all religions. But the atheist movement is gone. We've lost all momentum because it has become inextricably linked to the woke left movement, and I don't know why that is. The people in the national organizations tend to be. It attracts the woke left. It attracts transgender and queer folk because they see free thinker atheists as at least a non-judgmental ally, which that part makes sense. Atheism wasn't going to be tied to the extreme right in any kind of way. So the extreme left quite naturally attached itself to the atheist movement and in effect took it over, so that the atheist conventions and the atheist efforts, where they used to be targeted at keeping Congress from passing laws that favored religion, now it's just another really annoying arm of the woke left, ultra progressive shitbirds that have gotten us to where we are, and it's completely offensive and aggravating to me to have seen this. What was gathering momentum, right? Gathering steam. A guy like Sam Harris, not particularly woke, right? Then the Four Horsemen. Now, two of them are dead, and one of them is on his last legs and has kind of gone off the rails in terms of his rhetoric and offended the woke left. Talking about Dawkins. But here we are trying to create a safe space for secular thinkers, and now we have to hear how religion is growing because of assholes like this Kirk, who has managed to use the displaced young men, disenfranchised young men in society to prop up religion. He's sort of driven a certain amount of people back to religion when religion has been dying for a long time now in America. Division is everywhere. It's crazy. Blaming a marginalized group. Yeah, that's what they do. Join us on YouTube if you haven't yet. Yes, and I appreciate all you guys being on here today. Breaking down the assassination this week that happened, and I guess even that word, it's just a fucking mouth, a talking head. A fucking was he assassinated, or he said some shit that got him killed? Yeah, I don't know. But now we're flags at half staff because 40% of people thought he was great when really, he said things that offended people, and he said things that feed into the narrative of the toxic right. Of course, Trump's an atheist. Of course he is. Everybody knows it. He's talked about it. Any Christian in the country looks at Trump and thinks he's a Christian with the fucking obvious fucking optics that he tries to fucking pull off. Bible in his hand, always slipping it in conversation, always talking about how, not me, but he's a godly man, right? He like jokes that he kind of knows that he doesn't fit the mold of a Christian, a good Christian, or one of the good ones. But nobody knows. He doesn't even try to follow the tenets of Christianity, and he knows it, so he jokes about it. He's like, "Yeah, Mike Johnson, he's a real Christian, not like me. I mean, I'm a man of God, but not like that. Yeah, man of God, my ass." He famously said, "I leave God alone, and He leaves me alone," which again, tacit admission that he doesn't think there is one. But yeah, no, I'm sure he's absolutely sure He's an atheist. When it happened, he was debating gun violence when I asked him how many times when I shoot him. Well, yeah, they were asking him about how many shooters have been done. Why are they so fucking hell bent on pinning all these shootings on trans people? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What's there been 4 or 5 incidents? There's like a shooting every day in the country. The vast majority are from white Christian men. You think Trump's worried about getting into heaven now? Well, yeah, no, I've taken on. I can't verify. I didn't listen to him. I wouldn't give him 2 seconds of my time, just like any of those assholes. Saw Ben Shapiro last night on Bill Maher, and he immediately blamed trans people when the dude's not trans. Somebody else made a comment that he had a trans. Okay, did he? Or are you just talking? His partner was trans. Okay. So maybe it was that. Maybe it was simply that. Maybe it wasn't anything. Further that had to do with his overall overarching philosophy, his rightness. Yeah, spiritual awakening. What's up? Yeah, I think Clinton, Obama, they were all. I'm pretty sure atheists. Once you get your IQ's of a certain level and you have a certain amount of education in you, you're an atheist. There's so many priests who come out of seminary being atheists because they learn so much. You learn so much. You get a good education in seminary, you come out of an atheist. But by then it's like you're committed. This is my career, right? Just drive through Kentucky. There are drive-through churches. That's a Vegas thing, isn't it? Where you can get married from your car. There's drive-through liquor stores in Wisconsin. You guys know that? There's drive-through liquor stores. You can just drive through window, get you 2 6-packs or whatever you're getting right there and put them in your car. Yeah. True story. But yeah, the old drive. I didn't see that for the drive-through Kentucky. Just drive through Kentucky. Fried chicken. Hachetu. 812. What's up? Biden was technically Catholic. Yeah. Well, I mean, our friends are technically Jewish, but none of them believe in God either, right? I mean, the aforementioned Shapiro, Josh, or Ben, probably neither of them. Although Ben had a yarmulke on last night. I've never actually seen that guy. Again, I don't consume. I try to be a creator, not a consumer, much as I can. Because the doom scrolling is killing people. My own daughter right now is partially suffering the mental health consequences of being too addicted to her screen, and we're dealing with that. So I urge people to get off the scrolling, get off the fucking internet. It's just there's too many deep fakes. There's too much. The algorithm knows what you're looking for. There's too many people out there trying to take advantage of you. Do something different with that. Create. Get online and create. Make videos. Make poetry. Or just use it to learn stuff, right? We quiz ourselves all the time as we do trivia. Not me, but my team members. Like get online and do geography quizzes and do vocabulary quizzes, and do science quizzes, and try to learn, try to edify and educate yourself, not rot your brain with the fucking doom scrolling. If you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. The Flower Man is with us. What's up? Thanks for the bang and the like screen, you guys. Carter was the only Christian, and he was a hell of a Christian, right? That guy did it right, boy. Even if he had a partner that was trans, are they saying trans people can't be MAGA? I don't know. What the fuck is that even about? I don't know why anybody would care. I just don't know why anybody would care. But maybe they are, But, maybe if he loved a trans person, then he might have taken offense at someone that the aforementioned talking head loudmouth provocateur Johnny Debate said, like I said, the guy said stuff that provoked a reaction in people, and unfortunately, these days the reactions have gotten wacky. And who knows what to trust? Who knows what to trust? I wouldn't put it past Trump to have set this up. I wouldn't. He acted real hard and reacted like, but man, he was the first one to tweet it. He knows what happens if this happens. Because all this is fuel for the right. The fucking left is fucked. It's fucked. It's so fucked. The left needs a cult of personality guy. I hope Gavin Newsom or somebody's up to it, because somebody needs to just like grab the public's imagination and chant that part of the middle that includes poor, well-meaning idiots that voted for this turd this time, which I think he's probably already lost. I mean, definitely lost a significant part of the Hispanic population that he that he could have disenchanted with his recent activities. Vera Toledo Powell, what's up? Thanks for the gifts. Tinted by Ryan. Thanks for the gifts. Love you. Yeah, you have a good time with the spreading the word. The word of the Lord. That's the great thing, right? You know, we all know where the Bible came from, how it was put together, when it was put together, who wrote most of it, more or less, and people still think it's the eternal word of God. The unerring eternal word. You know, it's a bunch of fucking scrolls they jammed together. Then decided the order, then decided what the overarching message really is, then told all of the people this is the way you need to do it, or we're the big ones, so we won't let you be part of the circle anymore. If you don't, we'll kick you out, you know. And then later on came the diverging ideas again. But yeah, no, isn't that funny? The way people think that the Bible is anything to be looked at like some kind of eternal. We're like, God, you know, if there was like some book that no one knew where it came from in some unknown language that they've had to suss out, or in every language magically when you looked at it, you know, but it doesn't take 5 minutes of research to understand that the Bible's not the Word of God. You've been tainted. Ryan's been tainted. He's tinted by Ryan, but he's been tainted in the head. What's up, Krampus? Hello, hello, hello. Jilly Monroe joining us. Where'd everybody go? There was like 100 viewers for a minute there, but you know, it's just me talking shit like every goddamn Sunday. If I can get along. Long live Charlie. Yeah, Charlie's dead. Sorry to tell you. Buddy Christ is with us. What's up? I did not notice. Buddy Christ got on. The rumor is his roommate was trans, not his partner. Okay. Jesus, God. I hope so, you know. Yes, left is right, and Trump only cares about money and his legacy. Left might be right, but left is fucked right now. But you're right. Anybody who thinks that Trump has their best interest at heart needs to play poker with me on Saturdays coming up in the winter. Because if you can't read that room, I don't know what you can read. That dude is so only interested in himself and his legacy that nothing else matters. I don't believe that Charlie Kirk mattered to him enough to dissuade him from making sure that was the number one aim of all of this. Arrow Peaches, boyfriend, girlfriend. What's up, Arrow Peaches? Ashland Pony. You owe my Sunday church. Yes, it's Atheist Church. I care for poker. Trump is cool. What does that mean? You care for poker? Poker in the front. Liquor in the front. Poker in the rear. Sign in a bar. Yeah, Trump. That's when I think of Trump. I think Judd. That's the coolest guy I know, and his ugly fucking mouth and his dirty fucking thoughts. Creep. Who's more disgusting, honestly, than a comb over grossness with his fucking don't. There's nothing in the Epstein files, but don't show anybody. With my little hands. I can't draw. I never draw. The way he holds his ugly mouth. Wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Somebody else, previous administration. That was Biden's signature, I think.
I think Jilly, you're right. I think you're right. But he was so valuable to them alive that it's. I mean, he basically won the election for Trump. Um, he really delivered the kids, and that's huge. That's huge. So, boy, that's a heavy. Imagine being in that meeting. Well, is there worth more doing this or worth more doing that? Some dark ass shit though. You have some fucking deep state. I mean, we'll start a conspiracy theory channel. Who's got a theory about what's going on? Just make something up. Doesn't matter. Get the deep state on this side. They're always crying about the deep state. See, now they're like, who's really controlling this asshole? Because you start. He's like, no, he's old. I mean, what can you do? He's old. People in the people who are really pulling the strings are the ones you never see, like this turd that's in charge of 2025. Ones you don't see, those are the dangerous ones. These assholes always end up being pawns. Right now, he's Putin's pawn. Trump, the used car salesman. Yeah, I know. He's just a charlatan. He is good at abusing the people who are not as smart as him, though. He really is. He's got a real instinct for that. Yeah, Charlie just asked for the Epstein list to be released, too. That's the other thing. As any reasonable Republican does. A lot of them are, right? They're not happy about that. Even the maggots are like, hey, some of them are actually more altruistic and more philosophically driven towards an ideology that they think is right, and they're not cult of Trumpists, and they get upset when Trump doesn't, whether it's a lunatic agenda or not, they get upset when Trump, and transparency in government is one of them, and it's hard to argue with that one, right? So when he blatantly flouts the promises of transparency like this, he upsets part of his idiot base. And here this guy is. He's this influential. He starts calling for the Epstein. I don't think that should be over. It was good, like right. Keep these conspiracy theories coming today. Yes, That's what I started talking about. Left is right. Now they're starting to dox people who say anything bad about Charlie Kirk. Where's the freedom of speech? Where's the fucking freedom of speech, Republicans? But he's the law and order president, but he goes around releasing felons back into society, right? He's not law. He's a felon who releases felons and pardons criminals. How is he the law and order president? Oh, but I could send national troops in to bust, coke dealers in Chicago or whatever the fuck's going on. And I really come crack down on carjackers while I'm doing this on this fucking DL. Good, Mish. Where you at? We all feel bad for Americans. We're fucked. Where you at, Mish? The way that people misuse the word gaslighting now kills me. I was in the play Gaslight in college, and gaslighting does not just mean telling people they're crazy when they know they're right. That's what it's become, right? Anytime you try to tell somebody they don't know something that they know, or you just try to fool somebody, that's not gaslighting. Gaslighting is when you create a situation that makes somebody think that something's going on, and then you actively tell them that they're not seeing what you set up for them to see. That's gaslighting. It's only gaslighting if you actually created the problem that you're trying to tell the victim of the gaslighting doesn't exist. It's become, it's just so watered down, just like everything. Now we have the National Guard cleaning up trash and mowing the parks. Well, someone's got to clean up the fucking trash. South Africa. What are we talking about, the white genocide thing? Uh, Michael's here. I didn't see you there. What's up, Mike? Michael. Oops. I didn't do that. I'm just scrolling back through well, that, again, it's not really gaslighting. Christianity not gaslighting. It's just lying to people. It's a con game, right? The thing in the term comes from a play called Gaslight, where a Victorian husband wants to have his wife committed. He wants to get out of the marriage so he can get her family money or something. I don't remember. But what he does is he goes up into the attic and he rigs up something to make noise, and he rigs up the lights to flicker, the gas lights, right? He makes them flicker and go on and off. And then when she's alone, they go on and off. And she tells him, and he's like, "No, they're not going on and off. You're crazy." And he eventually convinces her through a series of these, things that he set up. He convinces her that she's crazy, and she can't resist being committed anymore. She half believes it herself. Christianity, just a con game, just a it's a what do you call it? False advertising. It's selling you something that's not there. Yeah, it's a long con. That's all it is. It's just using scare tactics to make people afraid of something that doesn't exist, so that they'll subscribe to your organization that asks for a tenth of your money. We have a useless president, but at least he doesn't have nuke access. Yeah, I don't know. That would be ugly. I don't know what he'd do. He gets beat at every turn by Putin. Every turn. He draws a line in the sand. He turns around, and Putin's over the line, and he has to draw it again. It's the saddest fucking thing that anyone's ever seen, man. He's so fucking weak and useless in the face of Putin, who plays him like a fiddle. There'll be sanctions. Where's the sanctions? There'll be severe consequences. Where? When? All he does is amp up his war. Artradish, what's up, my guy? Do you think we'll ever have a free, fair election? I know my lifetime of 56 years, you haven't had a free, fair election. Yeah, you have. But I worry about it now. They're gerrymandering and trying to keep people from voting. I do worry about it now. Honest to God, there is no genocide. What is it? No, man, I don't. It doesn't work out. Taking guest requests, maybe if you chill out on the show and we talk a little bit and get to know each other a little bit. But every time I've done it, it's like, well, the one guy just wanted to say the N word over and over and try to get me kicked off. It was stupid. But people are just boring. They can't fucking talk. I'm having a hard time keeping 25 people watching the show, and I can't hardly shut up, right? So maybe if we get to know you, I appreciate you, believe me, and I have had guys on that were great, and they're can entertain and hold a point, or get people that want to debate me. I'm not here to debate. I don't give a fuck if you believe in Jesus. Everybody who believes that hard that they have to debate it, their faith is weak anyway, and you already know that they have their little debate shit lined up in a row, and then they'll be like, gotcha. And I don't fucking need that, man. It's okay, believe if you want to believe. Get the fuck out of my way. No, that's chill, Mish, and I hope you come back, and maybe we can do that. I'm not against it. I'm having a hard time paying a lot of attention to my TikTok right now with the shit that's going on in my life, but I'm interested in growing the channel as long as it's alive, as long as TikTok's alive, and I really want to get people on YouTube. And Bohemian Lucy anchoring us down over there. But you get some people. Let me pay attention. I know you're there, camera on YouTube. I heard he's been worried about going to heaven. Who? Trump? Same. I need a break, but I'll stay. Blair White is a person who is very right. Who's Blair White? You guys know who Blair White is? My conspiracy is that there's someone who makes up fake conspiracies to distract from the real conspiracy. there would have to be, right? I feel like the world is too big, and there's too many outlets for knowledge, for information right now, that to pull off something like a fake moon landing, right? So the conspiracy to make a fake conspiracy to draw people's attention away from the real conspiracy, I think that's an absolutely valid theory and a good one. Bohemian, one for you. She's my gal, Bohemian Lucy. Yes. Is there a fake conspiracy to distract us from the real conspiracy? Without a doubt. See, the 8 ball, magic 8 ball, has spoken. This, of course, the most reliable source of information in the universe. And why do I know that? Because generation after generation of people have taught me that. So it must be true, because people, ever since my grandma's 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 grandma, have thought that the 8 ball was the word of God. Honestly, the 8 ball has more answers, right, than God. If you pray to God, you get silence, which you can interpret as yes, no, or wait, according to Christians. You hear that? God answers prayers always. Yes, no, or wait. God does answer prayers always, and the answer is always the same. Fuck the fuck off, pissant. That's how God answers prayers. Fuck off. With silence. But yeah, I love that when people make up. Right? No mames, una sobrina mía, no mames, güey. Pinche vato, cabrón. No te presento a nadie, man. Tú te encuentras tu propia vieja. Yeah. If you want to hear, if you want to listen in Spanish, hit the SAP button on your televisor. Luego se puede oír el problema, el programa, el problema. I'm reading Mish. My problem with the idea of God is evolution. Well, we were raised in a church that believed that God set evolution into motion. We didn't take Genesis literally. Only monkeys do that. That's just stupid. I went to a nice liberal church, not liberal in terms of like progressive, but just a liberal philosophy, right? Nobody ever told me that hell was real. Jesus was a good guy who went around being nice to people, and he wants you to too. That's really the extent of Christian dogma in my world. I think my mom always sort of thought heaven and hell were real, but we didn't have any brimstone preachers threatening you with hell. You just tried to tell a sermon that kind of put life in perspective and made you think about doing the right thing instead of being a jerk, But nobody ever denied evolution or science. It's like, okay, we all believe in God. So if evolution is real, God must have started evolution. Clearly, the Bible, Genesis, come on, it's not even an original origin story. It's not even, it's a copy of others. Not original. Who would think that is a real fucking thing? You have to be nearly brain dead to be a young earth creationist. That's the height of indoctrination and justifying the knowable facts to fit the preconceived conclusion of your retarded mythology. Come on. Yeah, see, if you grew up in a creationist church, and that's really you might, and that's not your fault. You might have trouble like justifying the existence of a God that didn't literally create the earth in 7 days 6,000 years ago. We were never taught that. We're like, okay, there's God, and people used to think that he started the world this way, but now we see that as a metaphor. The campfire storytellers were like, this is what God did, and yeah, it has some interesting parallels to the Big Bang, and if you want to be poetic about it, but when you know what you know, you know what you know, and there's no religion wants to survive into the future. It can't deny science. It can't. The shit that we know is the shit that we know. You have to make it fit. The Dalai Lama said that years ago. It's like if science proves something about Buddhism that is wrong, then Buddhism adjusts. You don't get anywhere with building a faith community by denying facts that everybody can see. Because again, they don't educate. Thank you, Darwin. And Darwin's not any atheist hero. He had his little agnostic belief, I think. It's not about that. The two are completely different. Most people don't know who Darwin is, though. You're right, because people don't get educated, at least in America. Chuck is with us. Monty Brown. See, TikTok's weird. It'll show in the list. It'll show one of your names, and then when it throws up a special thing like you can invite so and so to go live, it shows your different name. You know, if you have a handle and you have kind of an account name. The American Secularist is with us. Unless Adam was a Sahelanthropus chadensis. Yeah, he made Adam. He's like mushed him together out of clay and blew in him. Good story. Yeah, I'm telling you, the 8-ball is the shit, man. 8-ball is because you can take the 8-ball and get an answer. Or here, for example. I got some books. Look. Would you rather just ask the 8-ball and get an answer, or would you rather consult these fucking embarrassments? Let's see the Book of Mormon. Let me see. What should I do, God? And now behold, he had got great hold upon the hearts of the Nephites, yea, insomuch that they had become exceedingly wicked. Yea, the more part of them had turned out of the way of righteousness, and did trample under their feet the commandments of God, and did turn unto their own ways, and did build up themselves in idols of their gold and their stuff. What the fuck? What does that mean? Gobbledygook. One question, one answer. You ever look at the Book of Mormon at all? It's hysterical. You're got a fucked up couch if you need a Bible to keep it level. Holy crap, man! It's like your couch is an inch and a half. This Bible is a teen study Bible. This one cracks me up. My mom, I love, and she's great. She loves me. She doesn't give me too much shit. She asked if she could gift my daughter a Bible because I was like, I'm not gonna raise my kids religious. Are you kidding me? A waste of fucking time. So if we didn't have a Bible around the house, right? Which I'm about. Education is education, right? I'm like, okay. I just said it wasn't because I didn't want a Bible. I just sort of lost all my Bibles, I think. Because the Bible's got some good shit. You want a good sex poem, you can go straight to Song of Solomon. Proverbs, if the whole Bible was Proverbs, that shit would be dope. It would be like this big. It would be full of smart shit. Proverbs is good. There's not a lot in Proverbs that is downright wrong, It's like from some good life advice in Proverbs, man. But this Bible, it's got like a compendium on each page, that's meant to sort of explain, indoctrinate, explain the story that maybe was written in some English that the teenagers are having trouble with. It is good to know. Thank you, Krampus. It's good to know that value. The rich got richer, but the poor were getting poorer. Hey, Bible got that one right. Solomon, the stories of Solomon and Chronicles and Kings. If you're into old Jewish history, here you go. You can't do any better. But as far as here's Proverbs. A ruler who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain that leaves no crops. These are Proverbs for the day. I love that. When the wicked rise to power, people go into hiding. But when the wicked perish, the righteous thrive. This is Proverbs. Oh, nice that I open straight up the Proverbs. But yeah, and then you get some other, get some other part that's just like lunacy, right? And Quran was the worst thing I ever read. Oh my God. When I was going through chemo, I read Quran. And I had wanted to do it for a long time, and man, was it brutal. It was like the most boring, repetitive, threatening, weird, obviously done with an agenda in mind, kind of thing that I ever read. It was terrible. It was a slog. I mean, if you're going to be a religious critic like I am, I feel like I ought to be educated on these things, right? And so I went into it with that in mind, and I needed something to read while I was doing chemo. So that took up the hours, and I got through it. But woo, Bad stuff. Blair White is a YouTuber who is transgender, but she's very conservative and even moved to Texas, California. However, she just recently moved back to California. Texas, oh man. When I was in Catholic school, I don't remember him threatening me with hellfire. If you asked kid me who went to hell, I'd say really, really bad people. Yeah, yeah. Well, creationists and a lot of Christians in general. I don't even know if a lot of these evangelical Christians don't even know. They're not even in it deep enough to know what a creationist is or what that means. They're really not smart people. Um, they don't know that Catholics are Christians. You know this about evangelicals? A lot of them are too dumb to know that Catholics are Christians. They call themselves Christians. They don't call themselves Protestants. They separate themselves from Catholics by calling themselves, I'm a Christian. He's Catholic. Okay, Jim. I threw out my last Bible, but that was because my ex didn't like keeping things around that wasn't getting used on them. Yeah, hey man, I respect that. I try to go through all my shit and just chuck it after a while. But a Bible's one of those things. It's like a reference manual, right? I don't know why you'd throw that away. If you have too many, okay. But I have a couple everywhere. Every time I go and see, if I see a Gideon's Bible, I just take it out of the room to save somebody from that mistake. You know, and then I got another Bible I can tear up or use for toilet paper, rolling paper, whatever it is I want. Religion, what is a good for absolutely nothing, destroys science. Yeah, it's really bad, and it's like, yeah, you can see how it was a natural evolution of our psychology to have religion, but the time is over, and we need to avail of ourselves of all the modern information available and make sure that every kid is educated to the utmost. This agenda of keeping a subclass of of pawns, of uneducated peons who you can turn to with your fear tactics in order to steer the narrative for the future is disgusting. What's wrong with people? Teach your kids. Teach your children well. You guys like CSN? I heard I heard TikTok will soon ban political content. Well, then we'll be done for sure. What the fuck? What am I gonna do? Start lip syncing and dancing around like the kids did, like when it used to be. Remember that when it was musically? The old days. My little kids had a musically, and I had no idea that I would ever be on TikTok. When my 8-year-old girl was jumping around making musicallys. My age, ring of worms. Thanks for joining us, Ring of Worms. I'm going to jump off in a second. Appreciate you guys being here. We do it every Sunday at 10:30. I'm going to try to chop up current events a little bit. We also have a movie review channel. Go find the Grail Guys Presents Cinema Jones and the Last Movie Crusade and follow us there to get weekly reviews or whenever we manage to get them out right now, kind of irregularly. But me and Dave, who's usually here with me, breaking down movies, trying to be funny about it. But yeah, find us there. Join us on YouTube. And the channel's got Atheist Underground. You can look at the old podcasts at theatheistunderground.com. You can go to Instagram. We're on Facebook. I'm El Robinero on X, formerly Twitter. Not that I ever use that anymore. But yeah, there you go, man. Make sure you sign up and hopefully get some videos out this week. Have a great week, everybody. Love you long time. One more toot for Lucy. My gal, Bohemian Lucy. Matthew 6:5-6. Is that the praying in the closet one? All right, gang. Sorry, Spiritual Awakening. Take care of yourself and join us next week, man. And you too, Mish. I know you're probably gone, but appreciate you. Later on, Native.